All right, Steve, you ready? All right, good Friday morning, everyone. How y'all doing? All right, my name is Dave White. This morning I got Steve Field up here, our safety director. This is your Friday morning meeting. The date is December 9th, 2022. Happy holidays to everybody. And you can see we got all of our Christmas decorations up. All the terminals have them as well. Beautiful decorations up here, man. I'm just trying to figure out, Steve, which present's mine up here. I'll get that done before the end of the day. But no, I just want to give a big shout out to everybody. If you're new here to Prime this week, if you could please stand and be recognized, we'd love to give you a round of applause. All three terminals, Salt Lake, Springfield, or Pittston, stand on up if you're new to Prime this week. That's okay. Good deal. Glad to have everybody here this morning. So I'd like to give a big shout out to all of our drivers out there on the road, going down the highway, making money while we're in here having this Friday morning meeting. You know, be safe out there. If you're listening to the broadcast through YouTube or Facebook Live, we got that going too as well. Make sure you're stopped if you're watching it out there too. We want to be safe at the same time. But just a big shout out to all of our operators, especially I think we got a high percentage out there running right now before the holidays, and appreciate all your commitment. All the new folks coming through orientation, thank you for starting trucking. I know this is a little bit awkward right between the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I know some of you will miss your Christmas with your families and all that, but we appreciate your commitment coming in. This is a perfect time to start trucking, though, if you're new. You know, the road conditions out there, this is the time to learn. You know, nothing wrong with starting in the middle of summer, but this is where you really learn trucking is in the wintertime. And you get whether it's a seasoned veteran for a trainer out there, which we have many of those, and there are many great ones we have here at Prime. We're so blessed to have that. That's how you learn how to drive in snow and ice. So thank you for your commitment. I also want to give a big shout out this morning too to all of our vendors back there. Thank you guys and gals for coming here. Appreciate it from all the different companies. Give them a big round of applause. There you go. And even this morning, we have a special guest, too, that will be coming up later, a great customer of ours, General Mills. Thank you for joining us this morning as well. So great to have them, and they'll be talking up here in a little bit later on this morning. So, Steve, you got anything you want to start out with before we get rolling?
You want to hit the two terminals?
Yeah, that's what I was going to go next. Yep, all right. So first, let's go out to Pittston, Pennsylvania. We have Mr. Rick Ifford out there. Ricky, you with us?
Hey, good morning. You know, we're having so much fun up here. We got to set our hands, keep from waving to everybody.
Good for you, man. I see you're wearing your Friday red this morning, Rick.
I am, you know, and just so everybody knows, anybody that's wearing red, that's remember everyone deployed, and we have to thank those folks, especially this time of the year. You know, it's a big commitment to be away from your family this time of the year.
No doubt, no doubt. We appreciate everybody that is, and everybody will be working during the holidays too as well. But yeah, special place in our hearts for all of our veterans, and especially those that are serving our country, protecting our country. So, hey, I heard last Friday you had a little shindig up there in Pittston. How did that go?
You know, we had a little party up here last Friday, Christmas party. We had roughly around 250, 300 people. Over 300 people we had.
That's good. I heard you had Mr. Steve Field too up there. Did you get him out on the dance floor at all or anything?
Steve was here, and he would not commit to any type of dancing, so that did not happen.
Okay, well at least you tried. That's what counts.
You know, it's always a pleasure to have Steve up here. You know, he did a wonderful job, you know, talking to everybody. Just a good presence.
All right, good deal. You guys got any questions, make sure you holler at us. We'll get you on the mic.
We appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it too. Let's go out the other direction. Salt Lake City, Utah. Do we have Mr. Troy Rich?
Good morning.
Morning. What's going on?
Good morning. How's everybody?
We are fine. How about you?
We're fantastic out here. Doing great in Salt Lake.
Are you ready to go for tonight?
Yes, we have a Christmas party tonight, and I got my dancing shoes on. I'll see me out there getting down. It depends on how much alcohol I have, but you'll see me out there getting down. But yeah,
Hopefully
it's going to
there's
be a
no-
good turnout. We got
That's-
a big crowd planned. They do it right every year. We've got a really nice facility that we go to every year, and it's beautiful, and they take care of us every year. So
That's great. Yeah. Have a good time tonight, but be safe, be responsible there, Troy, especially for you. So we'll have Mr. John Harden coming out from the safety department to join you as well. So take care of John too. We need to make sure he gets back for Monday morning.
yeah, should I get John on the dance floor? That'd be interesting.
That would be interesting, no doubt. So, but anyway, if you guys got any questions, Troy, have a good time tonight. You all appreciate you. And got any questions, make sure you holler at us. We'll get you back on.
Thank you.
All right. As you can tell, 'tis the season for our holiday parties. Last night, we had our holiday party up in Decatur for our tanker folks up there. Bill Sprague went in our safety department to attend that as well. Next Thursday, we got one in Manuka, Illinois. And I think that one there, Jamie Miller will be going to it, representing safety. And then the big one, the big shing-ding, as we call it, is Springfield, Missouri, Friday, December 30th. So if any of our drivers are around, you can make it in for the holiday party. We'd love to have you. It's a good time. We'll have a band, have some festivities, good food, some adult beverages, some non-alcoholic beverages too, whatever you'd like. And we like to have a good time. We work hard and like to play hard sometimes too, but just be responsible at the end of the day. That's all we ask you to. And but we appreciate every one of you, and that's what these holiday parties are for. It's so great to get back to them, Steve.
And then Laredo on January the 6th. Laredo's holiday party is January the 6th.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. Thank you. So Laredo too.
Laredo. You know, it is good to get back to the holiday circuit again, the holiday parties. We did have a great time up in Pittston last week, and I could really see on their faces up there, they were happy to be able to get back kind of full swing again, and not all the precautions that we had to take the two prior years, and even cancel the parties a couple of years. So that was fantastic. It's great to see everyone today. We've got several speakers today. We've got a packed show. So I'm going to take just a couple of minutes up here when I have the mic, just to kind of give you my thoughts on a couple of things. We're entering what I think is the toughest part of the year. We're right in the middle of it now, as we're on the home stretch towards the holiday season, and we're always trying to balance two things. That's your needs out there, getting you guys home when you want to be home to your family, getting you a load when you want to load, and at the same time balancing that with our customers. And we have to just work together at that. There's going to be times everyone's going to be a little short, patience runs a little bit thin, but we do this every year, and we do it better than any other carrier out there. So I just want to thank you for your commitment to servicing our customers, and also your commitment to safety. We can never drop our guard on safety. You're anxious to get home. You're on that last load. Don't ruin that festive spirit by getting involved in an accident. The roads are so crowded out there right now. Everyone seems to be traveling, and they're not driving responsibly. And that just means we need to be even more responsible. And you know what I always say, watch your speed out there. Make sure that speed's appropriate for the conditions and for your driving ability. It's not a contest. You drive at a speed that's safe for you out there. My pet peeve is always following distance. You get that following distance, it's going to give you that extra second or two you're going to need to respond when something crazy goes on in front of you. Please watch that following distance. And I know it's a challenge. I know the four-wheelers will take advantage of that spot to cut in at an exit. It happens. We just need to be ready for it. And finally, don't be distracted in the cab, particularly this time of the year. We don't want you distracted ever, but right now we're heading into winter. The roads are crowded. There's holiday folks out there. Don't be distracted in the cab. Give everything you've got to being the safest, most professional driver you can. You do that day in, day out. We're always proud of your commitment. You keep this country moving. Looks like we dodged another rail strike, so things will stay a little bit more as we would have expected going into the holidays, and not have to deal with that. But it's going to be busy out there. So please be safe. Make sure you take care of yourself, take care of your fellow drivers, and take care of your family. It's important to us that when you tell us you'd like to get home, that we do our best to honor that. We may talk about our holiday initiative here a little bit later. We've got some neat prizes this year. We had the 3 Dodge Ram pickups down here last week. It'd be pretty neat to win one of those. And, that's just our way of saying thanks for those folks that are running, whether you run 1 day or 11 days during that period. We thank you for that. So Dave's got some safety information, and then I'll be back and we're going to talk about everyone's favorite subject, logs, for a couple of minutes, because it is important. Go ahead, Dave.
All right. So let's talk our safety numbers this past week. Just to go back to last Friday, we had 98 DOT inspections last Friday. Well, that's because it included Thanksgiving week, and usually most scales are shut down. But obviously they've opened back up again, because this past week we had 204 inspections, but 137 of those were clean. So no violations. So that's a 67% clean rate. So kudos to all of our drivers. Even though we get more inspections, our clean percentage still stays really high, and that's what we want. And you keep those clean inspections coming. One area I need to talk to everyone about, which usually we don't zero in on one scale site, but this past week we had a number of inspections that come in, about 5 of them, from a brake check station up in Brigham City, Utah. And I don't know if some of you are familiar with that or not, but on Highway 89/91, there is a brake check station. It says all commercial vehicles over 10,000 pounds gross vehicle weight must weigh. That means it's us too as well. So remember that. If you're up in that area north of Salt Lake, off of I-15, it's Highway 89/91. There's a brake check station there. For some reason, this past week, a number of inspections, our drivers got stopped for not stopping at it. So keep that in mind. Also, there's other brake check stations throughout before you're going down mountains. I know one of the biggest ones, Mount Eagle has one as well. If there's a brake check station, you need to stop and check your brakes. Make sure everything's working accordingly. But more importantly, when you stop, it's going to cool your brakes off. So when you're coming down that mountain, you have plenty of braking power. And as long as you're using the Jake brakes and braking properly, you'll be okay. And that's what those brake check stations are for, making sure your equipment and you are ready to descend that mountain. So, but anyway, keep an eye out for that. Highway 89/91 up in Brigham City, brake check station. Let's make sure we pull in there, because we don't need any more inspections. Obviously, if you pass the scale and you don't, or a brake check station, and you don't stop in, that can lead to more violations. That officer is going to stop you, probably going to give you a ticket, so you got to deal with that. Then he's going to check everything else out on your truck and make sure everything else is working properly. Rather than if you just pull in, you don't have anything to worry about. Make sure everything's ready to go, and then you're able to proceed safely. So, just that reminder. Anything else you want to add to that one?
Nope, I think you got it, Dave.
All right. Should we move on to our speakers?
Let's do it. No, let's go right on into logs.
All right.
We're going to spend a little extra time today talking about hours of service. It's one of the areas that we have struggled more than we normally do. Obviously, we're on electronic logs. It kind of has changed the dynamics of the inspections out there and what they look at. So I've asked Brennan Officer to come up. Brennan is one of our log advisors in the log department. Log department's located down in the Plaza building. They're down there 7 days a week. And when the log department's not there at night, we do have coverage in the evenings with our safety team that covers safety logs and cargo claims. But what I wanted to do today with Brennan is kind of go through some of these violations, because some of them are really low-hanging fruit. We should be able to avoid these violations. And when people ask me, boy, Steve, it seems like we're getting inspected a lot. Well, they can kind of smell blood, when they are in that scale and they look at all our different scores and the way we're rated with the FMCSA, they see that hours of service is a little higher than we'd like. So they focus in on that, and it kind of gets that snowball rolling. So we're going to get it turned around. So Brennan, thanks for being here. Appreciate you taking the mic as always.
Oh, no problem.
Perfect. So what we're going to do, it's going to be real simple. I'm going to kind of go through the violations, and Brennan's going to talk about what we have in place to avoid those violations. I hate to see someone miss a clean inspection award because of a single violation, particularly when it's a log violation. So let's start right in. We had several this week with no log books. Kind of talk about that for a second, like the requirement and where we can get them and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so not having a paper logbook is a perfect example of that low-hanging fruit. So we have these paper logbooks at all of the terminals, Springfield, Salt Lake City, Pittston, and they are free of charge. You can pick them up at driver lineup here in Springfield. And we also provide them in our comprehensive log class. That comprehensive log class, it's held at 1:30 Central here in Springfield and streamed out to Salt Lake City and Pittston, is one of our biggest resources in the log department. So if you have the time, I would highly recommend you take that class at least once or twice a year to stay current on the regulation.
I think we're going to get that comprehensive log class mentioned as many times as we can today, aren't we? Okay, the logs, that one's crazy to get that violation. You just need to have that paper logbook out there. Okay, the second one is a driver didn't have the load on his load tab on the Omnitrax device, on the Qualcomm right there. You remember back in the old days, you used to write it on your paper log because it is a requirement to have the load there. Normally, and when I say normally, probably 99.9% of the time, that's loaded automatically when your load is assigned to you. But sometimes it doesn't take. So Brennan, what can they do to make sure they have that load in there when they're out running?
Yeah, so like Steve said, most of the time it is auto-filled for you, which is very convenient, but please do not rely wholeheartedly on technology. Please make sure to go in and double check when you're initially sent a load that all that load information is correct in that load tab. If it's not, just take a couple of minutes to manually make those adjustments. At your shippers and receivers, do the same thing. Just manually make sure that everything is updated properly. And if it's not, make sure to make those changes.
And do you cover that load tab in the comprehensive log class?
We do. We cover that load tab extensively in that log class.
You know, one of the age-old problems with hours of service, and it was a problem on paper logs, it's still a problem, and that is on-duty time. It's a necessary evil. It's a requirement when you're doing work functions that are not driving that you log that time on line 4. It's something the officers look for. So any thoughts on on-duty time, Brennan?
Absolutely. Yeah. So on-duty time is non-negotiable. You absolutely have to make sure you're documenting it to account for the work you're completing on the road. So big 3 here is going to be all your fuel, all your work at customers, and your pre or post-trip inspection each shift. Now, there are other times you need to make sure to go on duty, such as working with DOT, maybe being inspected, or if God forbid you're involved in some sort of accident, you would need to be on duty to account for the time that you're working with the officer. If you miss logging your on-duty time, you can actually be cited for each individual time you miss it. So, for example, if you have 8 days that you're working throughout your 8-day cycle, and you miss every inspection during that 8-day cycle, that translates into 8 potential tickets, which is not only a huge fine potentially, but it's also a big hit on your CSA score and Prime's CSA score. This is something we cover extensively in that log class as well.
Perfect. Paper logs, we used to sign them. Now we certify them. We only had 1 violation there. Is it pretty easy to certify your logs?
It's very easy. So you'd go into your hours of service tab, you would select certify along the top, and then you would just agree to your logs for that shift. I would recommend that you save a couple minutes at the end of your day to go and do this. If you need to make any adjustments to your log, that is your opportunity to do so. You can edit everything but drive, and you can edit your logs whether it's certified or not. If you need us to make a change to your log, we are a 24/7 department, like Steve mentioned. Whether you have a question, day, night, weekend, weekdays, holidays, someone is here to assist. So give us a call if you need us to make a change, but be sure to certify those logs first. We can only edit previously certified logs.
I'm going to cover the next one myself because this one I want to talk about. And we had 4 violations for going over hours, but it's not what you think in most cases. I realize the challenges you face out there with parking. It's brutal out there. I realize the challenges you face with shippers and receivers, maybe not always having the facilities you need to park there. I'm not really that upset when you go over hours. If you annotate it that I was looking for a place to park, you went over by 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Certainly that's not our goal, but it does happen out there. What we do become upset with is if you switch over to personal conveyance because you've run out of time. That is the wrong answer, and that becomes a false log, which is more normally written up as a ticket like that. So really, if you find yourself running out of hours, you can't find a place to park, stay on the drive line, put an annotation in there, could not find a place to park. It doesn't make the violation go away, but at least it shows to any officer inspecting your logs that I'm doing the right thing. And they realize the challenges with parking out there. They realize the challenges when you're having to move from a shipper or a receiver. But please don't go to personal conveyance. Don't try to go around the log system. And you probably know what I'm talking about there. Just keep it on the drive line and we'll all be better off on that. Okay, the next one, couldn't transfer logs, and that's a requirement. Normally at a scale, the officer will ask the driver to transfer the information to him or her.
Yeah. So anytime you need to transmit your logs electronically, you again go into your hours of service tab. You'll select day log along the top and then touch eRods. From here, the officer will tell you whether to select web services or email, and they will provide you with a comment, which is just a subject line so they can find your log in the system. Once you have that entered, send those logs. You should get confirmation within a couple minutes that they transmitted successfully. Of course, if you have any issues with this, you can contact your log person. We can talk you through the process. And you also have the instructions on how to transmit your log inside this Prime paper logbook. This paper logbook is absolutely valuable as a resource. So again, please make sure to pick one up, attend that comprehensive log class, because this is also something we cover very extensively in class.
We're going to wrap up the log portion here. And let me just kind of close with this. We're all in this together. Logs are always a challenge. They were a challenge with paper. They're a challenge with electronics, but it is a necessary evil. It's the law. We have to comply. It's our expectation that we will comply. We've got some great folks like Brennan down in the log department. We've got that class. When you're sitting here, take a few minutes. It runs about an hour.
It's actually 2 hours, covers everything you need to know.
That's a lot of information, but
Yeah.
get into that comprehensive log class, because working together, we can get this turned around on the hours of service. And nobody wants a violation on their CSA score. We don't want them on Prime CSA record. So let's work together on this and we'll get it where it needs to be. Brennan, appreciate you coming up. You're always a champ.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Brennan.
Great job right there. Yeah, if there's questions, definitely. We got people available to help our drivers out, no doubt about it. So,
You want to introduce John?
yeah, let's bring on Mr. John Hartnett. John's in our safety department. Spent a few years as well in operations, didn't you? What, 16, 17 years?
I did. I was an over-the-road fleet manager for 11
Yep.
years on the reefer side, and then I worked in our intermodal department for about 7 years. So,
Been in safety, what, about 6 months, roughly?
yeah, it's about exactly right.
Man, time's flying, isn't it?
It really is. It goes by quick.
Great to have you. Who do you got today?
So we're going to bring up Heather. She's with our Cardinal Sleep, and we're going to talk about connectivity and sending in our CPAP data every week and just how important it is. And hopefully Heather's going to shed some light on a few other ways. We've got some issues with getting all the information in, so we're going to try to fix that. This last week, maybe some of you noticed, Heather sent me a report with everyone that did not have information uploaded. So we reached out to your fleet managers. They reached out to you. We had a great buy-in this week. So that was week 1. So we're looking to build off that. So Heather, what do you got for us today?
Good morning. So I'm going to talk about the devices and how to get your information to us. The report to safety goes out on Tuesday afternoon. We like to have it to them by the end of the day. So the best time to get your data in is on Mondays. The 7 days runs from it ends on Sunday night, so it runs from Monday night to Sunday night. So we want to make sure that we get your data on Mondays. For ResMed drivers, the ones that we have on those devices, unless you're on an old 3G device that still needs to get exchanged out or get replaced, your devices are reporting to us. If they are not, then you definitely should have got a message and you should definitely get a hold of us because it's a device issue. The Philips devices, they do report to us on their own. Some of those are not reporting as frequently because if you did not reinstall your app when you got your device exchanged out under the recall, then you definitely need to get that done. I've been trying to go through and send messages to people to make sure that they get that app reinstalled. It's the quickest, fastest way to get that information to push through. And the resident devices are the devices that we're going to talk about today the most. Those devices, if you had a device issued to you after January the 1st, then that is the type of device that you are on. So you are on a resident device. Those do upload through Wi-Fi. We have put a software patch on many of them. There are still a list of you guys out there that need to have that software patch. That manufacturer is working with us to put these patches on there to get that device to upload through Wi-Fi easier and more frequently. I can tell you that if your device was sitting on a bedside table, it would report through Wi-Fi every night. And I know that's not the situation with you guys. And that is why they're constantly doing the updates to try to get it to where it picks up those different Wi-Fis where you're at quicker and faster, because what it does is it wants to search for the original Wi-Fi, and that's why it takes longer. So hopefully that helps to explain it. They're working with us. We're working with them. Everybody's trying to get that going. But there are other ways that you can send your device, your information through a resident device. And these are fail safe. So you can send these no matter what on Monday. The first one, and I think we're going to start with the screen.
Yeah, we've got them right up here now on the
Got them up
screen,
there?
sir.
Okay. So the first screen, if you'll look on there, if you are on a resident device, that's going to be your home screen. And when you turn that on, the info tab will already be highlighted. You're going to want to click on that. And then it will take you to the next screen. Yeah, there we go. So the following screen is going to appear when you click on the info tab. It's going to show the 6 last days of usage, and then it's going to have a 7-day, a 14-day, a 1 month, a 3 month, and a 6 month tab, depending on how long you've been on your device. You're going to want to scroll to the 7-day tab and highlight it and click on it. When you do, this is going to show up. It's going to have the 7-day screen. And at the bottom of that, you can see that there's a little R code. This is the screen that we can get your device, even if your device, we can get your data, even if your device is not reporting. If you can't get it connected to Wi-Fi, take a picture of this screen. Right at the bottom, there's the R code, the 7-day screen only, and email that to charts@cardinalsleep.net. So CHARTS@cardinalsleep.net. And we'll be able to put that in our software and get your information. So if you do that on Monday, you won't get a call from your fleet manager. We won't have to, go through all the process of making sure that they get that information. You're going to be good to go. So it's right there. You're going to highlight that 7-day, and then you're going to click on it, and it's going to give us that R code at the bottom, and you're going to want to email that to charts@cardinalsleep.net.
Perfect. Thank you. And a couple of other things that we're going to do to make this easier on everybody. And again, this is specifically for the resident users, which are the majority of the machines that we have out there right now, correct?
I think Philips is still the majority, but
Philips
we
is
do have
okay.
a lot of resident. We're about at 400.
So resident, I guess I should reword that. That's the device where we have the most difficulty getting the
The most
information in.
difficulty
Okay.
right now. We do.
So what Heather has also done, Heather and Mitch here have put together a video. We're going to post that on the Prime app. Okay. So that'll be out there on the Prime app very soon. We'll get Mitch to get on that today, actually. So that'll also explain everything here, go through the slides, let you know exactly how to do that. If you can't remember the email, we're going to put the email address on the video. But if you can't remember that, take a screenshot, send it into your fleet manager, have them get that to myself in safety or anybody in safety or to Cardinal, and we can upload that way as well. So
Yeah.
does anybody have any questions right now for Heather before we move on? Okay. If anybody does have anything, Heather will be sticking around here after the meeting, and she will be happy to answer any questions that you might have. So thank you very much, Heather.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right.
All right, great information from Heather. Not only that, I use the CPAP. If I have questions or problems, she's the first one I call all the time. So if you're on a CPAP, you have problems using it, whatever, make sure you give them a call at Cardinal. They'll help you out. They'll do what they can do. They'll route you to Salt Lake or Springfield, get you taken care of. Maybe there's a different mask you can use, a different system you can use for being compliance, because it's important to always stay in compliance on that CPAP.
Right. And right now, Springfield and Salt Lake City are the only terminals that you can come in to have updates done, speak with Cardinal. We are working diligently to get that service updated in Pittston as well. So when that happens, we'll let everybody know.
All right, should we move on?
Let's move on.
Go ahead. We can introduce the next one.
All right. So next, we're going to bring up Mr. Bill Baining here. He's in our security department. So we've got the holidays coming up. As everybody knows, holidays are the time where thieves like to work the most. So Bill,
Hey, good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
So within the last week, we've had a couple instances I kind of want to go over with everybody. And the first one was last Sunday night, and we had one of our flatbed drivers who was paying for what he believed was secured parking. Now he's paying about $250 a month for the spot down in Houston, Texas. And he parks it overnight and he goes the next morning to pick up his tractor and trailer. And guess what? They're gone. So he is paying $250 a month. And when we call down and talk to the owner of the property, we go, so what's he get for $250? He goes, just a parking space. He goes, still park at your own risk. Now, what's really bad about this is Prime pays for a whole location down in Houston, Texas. He could have parked for free. And we got some guarantees from there. We've never had an incident off the lot from down there in my past 12 years I've been here. So we lost the load, lost the tractor and trailer. We got the tractor back about 10 miles away in another truck stop. But as of right now, the load's still missing and the trailer's still missing. Now, hopefully the trailer will show up in about 30 days because it's been towed to someplace and we'll get a notification that we need to get out of their yard and that. But so that was our first incident. Now, our second incident involved one of a reefer driver. So let me ask before I go into this one, is there anybody in this room who currently does not use an alloy lock or doesn't like an alloy lock on their trailer? Come on, there's got to be somebody in here. And I'm trying to give one away and nobody wants to. You don't? Come on up here. Come on. Okay. Yeah.
Here you go.
Hey, grab Mike. Hey, your name is?
Jim,
Jim, how you doing, man?
I'm all right.
So you do not use an alloy lock?
I use a master lock.
You use a master lock,
Huge master lock.
a really huge master lock. Okay, let's put that up here. So why do you use a master lock and not an alloy lock?
The alloy lock is gone.
Okay, and it's gone because of what reason?
I left it on a trailer.
Okay. Now, what do you think is the difference between the master and the alloy?
I have no idea.
Well, here's your alloy lock and you've got a huge master lock, right? Now, if you've got this master lock on the back of your trailer and somebody comes up and cuts the lock off and they go in and they take product out, who's responsible for the product?
I am.
Okay. And it doesn't matter how much. We had one claim this year, it was $67,000. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. If you had paid for this alloy lock and had that on your trailer, and you could prove to us by having a picture of the alloy lock and the trailer on every load that it was cut and defeated, guess how much that $67,000 would have had to pay?
Nothing.
Nothing. That's right. So guys, this alloy lock is $43.10. If you could show that you are using your alloy lock on a load, and all I'm telling you is you got to take a picture of the alloy lock on the back with the trailer number, and it gets defeated, and they steal the product, you're not responsible for anything, any of it. Now, if you have a lock already that you're not using, like Jim, who's got a master lock, he can take that out to the Plaza building, and he can pay $13.10 for an upgrade. So you can trade in your lock out there at the Plaza building, get a new alloy lock for $13.10. Now, is that worth it?
That's worth it.
Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is you got to make sure you use the proper equipment. Robert's already said, this is what he's going to do. We believe in this lock so much that he'll cover that. Got a question?
Yes, sir. Are you now wanting us to take a picture every time we get loaded with the lock on?
I'm telling you, if it saves me $67,000, I'm going to snap a quick picture on at the back of the trailer.
Okay, what happens if we find the lock cut and we take a picture? Are we then free and clear of that?
No, you got to be before the locks.
Okay.
I mean, you want to do it when you put the lock on.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
I've
if
been
the
here for
lock's
years,
defeated, it's
but-
kind of hard to prove when the
Sure.
lock got defeated.
It's a good idea to
Thank
have
you.
a picture of that seal anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that following up on that, you want to take a picture anyway, so you get that seal, showing the seal is on the trailer, connected, and it's a part of the record of that load.
So Jim, here, I'm going to save you $13.10 today.
Thank you.
And there you go. There's your new alloy lock. Right there. No problem.
I'll take that, sir. All right, thank you, Bill. So some great information there. And again, you know, whenever a lot of you are going to be going home for Christmas, going home for New Year's, whether you're passing through the load with the house, whether you're going home for, you know, multiple days, we never want to take a trailer to our house, okay? So make sure that you get with your fleet manager, make sure that you have a plan in place. If you're going home and this conversation hasn't happened with your fleet manager, when you get that load to the house, reach out and say, hey, I need to know what to do with this trailer before I go home, because I don't want to be responsible for it, right? We want to make sure we get it in a secured lot or a customer lot where they can reload it, where we can keep moving freight on it. So make sure you have that conversation coming up on the holidays. And, you know, again, put that back on the fleet manager, reach out to them, and they'll let you know where to drop it. So
The best defense is a good offense.
that's exactly right. That's
No doubt.
exactly right. So a couple of things real quick before we move on. We've got a packed schedule here full of speakers, but I wanted to mention a couple of things. So Prime app, the Prime app's out there. It's very helpful, very useful. If anyone, you know, newer or anyone has any issues using the Prime app or has any questions at all, Mr. Richard over here is our local resident genius, so he can help you step up here after the meeting and ask questions. Of course, if you're out there on the road, reach out to your fleet manager and they'll connect you with somebody that can answer any questions that you might have. So, Dave, you want to do veterans?
Can you do, yeah, oh yeah, by all means. If you're a veteran, if you've served in the military and, you know, you work here at Prime, if you could please stand, we'd love to recognize you at this time. So all veterans, please rise and stand and be recognized. Can I get a drum roll next for our next presenters?
Oh, man.
Uh,
So if everyone's kind of like, hey, this meeting's kind of dragging on, these next two are going to bring some energy to the meeting
No
here.
doubt.
So we've got Haley and Chelsea
Hello.
from Leasing.
Hello from Leasing.
You got a new warranty program going, right?
Yes, it's very, very exciting.
Exciting news.
I'm Haley.
I am Chelsea.
Good morning. Good to see you all. Okay, I'm going to talk really quickly about our new warranty. This is very exciting. Our IT department has worked very long on this. There's been a lot that has gone on to this. Guys, this is a huge benefit to our operators, to you guys. This is wonderful. So we have just rolled out a 90-day warranty on all of our pre-lease units. This means anything that happens in the first 90 days is covered, completely covered. Now, driver negligence, things like that, not going to be covered, but all of your PMs, anything that happens to go on with the truck is going to be covered. This gives you guys a peace of mind that when you get out on the road, success is going to be there. We're going to be taking care of you guys. We want you guys to start out your lease successful and continue that lease. So that is a wonderful thing. I did bring my notes this morning because there's a lot of great things on this warranty program. We also have our Success Extended Warranty, so we've kind of changed that a little bit. We will still have our Driveline program, but it has changed. So anything that is above $500 on that, Success will split with you. So we used to kind of break it, you would pay for it at the very end of your lease, but now we have changed that. Anything above $500 will automatically be set into $50 payments on your settlement until that is completely paid off. This is great. You don't even have to worry about it. We're just going to break those up into payments for you and you keep rolling. We have also changed our tire fund. So it was at 2.5 cents per mile. It has gone up to 2.75 cents per mile. This is just because of inflation and the cost of tires has increased. So we don't want you to owe at the end on that tire fund. So we have increased that for you as well. And then your body damage. So at the end of the lease, normally or past, body damage, anything under $250 was just considered natural wear and tear on the tractor. We have increased that to $500. So when you turn in the end of lease truck and you have $450 worth of body damage on that, that's just going to be considered normal wear and tear, and you will not be charged for that. That is about it for our warranty program. It's a wonderful thing, and I'm going to pass it off to Chelsea.
Yes, so I just wanted to touch base on the new truck orders. We are still placing orders for standard lease and lease purchase. we are finally kind of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Our response time was about 7 to 10 business days, and right now we're down to like 2 to 3 business days to get back to you on your new truck order. If you are doing a lease purchase, down payment is still $14,000 down. $5,000 will be required up front. So when you submit that order, that's great. I will respond back, but that order will not actually go through to the manufacturer until we have that $5,000 up front. Did I say May timeframe?
No, May.
Right now, we are placing orders for delivery of May timeframe right now. So just make sure you're planning ahead, kind of looking out. If you've got an end of lease coming up or something like that, that you're planning ahead if you want to get that new truck order in.
One more thing on new truck orders or whatever, guys, don't forget about your retention and rewards, okay? So do not have a break in service more than 59 days, or unfortunately, your longevity and your retention and rewards starts all over if you go over 59 days. So we really need to be proactive. If your truck is running delayed or you're out on vacation, please reach out to us so that we can help you and we can secure and make sure that you are in another truck, you have a lease signed within that 59 days. With that being said, a lot goes into your longevity, retention rewards, your down payment on the lease purchase trucks. Chelsea did state that it starts at 14, but it goes down for every year you've been leasing with Success. So every year it'll go down $1,000 up to $6,000 off. So the lowest it can be is $8,000. So remember, don't go over 59 days. That's all I have.
All right. So thank you very much. Don't leave just yet. So we always have a lot of questions for leasing. So does anybody have a question real quick before Haley and Chelsea sit down? Okay.
How you doing? I plan on turning in a truck at the end of this month. Is there like a wait list to get another truck afterwards, or like should we just go ahead and start like planning to get the new truck now, like put in the request and all that, or?
Yeah, so once you're ready to get back on the road to get into a truck, you'll check in on our website at successleasing.com/check-in, and we'll get you added to the list and get you seated as soon as we possibly can.
Is there a long list is it a long list? Like what's the
Honestly,
usual wait time?
it changes all the time. Right now, the list is really great, but you are end of lease, so there's a little bit of a, preferential treatment on that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. I do appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
All right. We got another question over here.
Thank you, sir. Just a quick one. Gilbert, longtime listener, first time caller.
Hello, Gilbert.
What's up with the Kenworth T680 Next Gens on the yard? They look like standard lease because they don't start with a 2. I'm just wondering.
Oh, about the Kenworths we have. So we got 50 of them, and they are standard leases. Really just kind of luck of the draw when we get them in and when we add them to the list. Yeah.
Okay. So
Question in Piston.
there we go. I was just getting ready to ask. Go ahead, Rick.
If my lease is ending right now and it's going to take me till May to get a new truck, can I extend my lease that I'm on?
Depending on in-service date, so when that truck went out on the road to begin with, and your mileage, feel free to reach out to me and or any of us, the whole department. We can all look at your lease and see where you're at, but most likely we can extend that if it's never been extended out before.
Okay. Ladies, thank you. They're going to stick around here. If anybody has any other
Thank you,
questions
guys.
that comes up, please feel free to come up and ask them after the meeting.
I got a question. Where do you get a pair of these shoes?
I know.
These
She's
are
always,
awesome.
every
can't
time she
answer
comes
that.
up here, she has these new shoes. I love them. Awesome.
All right. All right. Up next, we've got a couple more speakers here. So Brandon Mallard from our HR department is going to come up and talk about open enrollment real quick.
All right, thank you. Thanks for squeezing me in this morning. I won't take too much of your time. Brandon Mallard from the HR department. Really, I wanted to come out here and reach out to you independent contractors about insurance. We've been sending you mobile app notices that you are still available to get insurance through open enrollment. The open enrollment will end on January 15th. We have an on-site rep with Enrollment First, Dave Brill over here, who can help you get enrolled. Definitely look at your medical, dental, vision, life insurance. As far as the medical goes, Enrollment First has some products. They can also help you get enrolled in the marketplace. Definitely take a look at every plan out there because, you know, the sky's the limit on plans you can enroll in out there as an independent contractor. So, you know, make sure it has all the coverage in there that you want and need because, you know, you're paying for what you get. So definitely, you know, look at the pricing, look at the coverage levels, things like that. If you guys ever have any questions, feel free to get a hold of me, but I just wanted to get out here and let you know you have until January 15th to finish up your enrollment for 2023. Does anybody have any questions? Nope. All right.
All right,
guys.
Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it. Okay, so we've got some special folks here today, and Mr. Jim Guthrie is going to have the honor to introduce them.
Hey, thank you. Thanks, John. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jim Guthrie. I work in our reefer operations area. We've got a couple different special guests here. First, I want to introduce a couple of folks that joined our team here. You know, recently we've had a acquisition of LW Miller Reefer Division out of Logan, Utah. So we are certainly excited to welcome those drivers that have come on. They've got some good business out of you know, the Logan, Utah area in that western region. So we're really excited about bringing that along. And we've got a couple of folks here this morning from formerly LW Miller. Now they work for Prime, and we're really excited to have them along, and we wanted to introduce them. So, you know, first we've got Craig Patterson here. He's worked with a lot of the customer relationships at LW Miller, and Darcy Moss has been actually, I think I should say they all do everything. They work with the drivers, they work with the customers, and I think you've got someone here you're going to introduce, Craig. I'll let you introduce him, and we'll talk from there.
This is Dave Lyons. He's been with formerly LW Miller a long time and made the transition. Has it been a good move for you?
So far.
Good. Anything else you want to add? Okay. All right.
Well, Dave and Craig and Darcy, we're super excited to have you along. Welcome. You're part of the Prime family now, and we're really excited for what that offers out there, and certainly looking to grow it. And you know, we appreciate you being here. Do you have anything else you want to share with the folks? Craig and Darcy have both been working here this week. How's that going?
It's been great. Yeah, nice people, good crew. Been in trucking for 16 years, so I'm glad to be a part of it. So,
yeah, I would just like to say we have been welcomed with open arms and treated very kindly by everyone that we've been in contact with. And we feel just so good about being part of a successful organization and moving forward. Yes, very much so.
Great. Well, we echo those regards, Craig, and we're really excited to have you along. So thanks for coming up this morning, and thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. So another item I'm going to talk about this morning is just to kind of remind everybody what we've got going on here coming up. You know, the holidays are quickly approaching, Christmas and New Year's, and that's always a really important time for all of you, but a very busy time in our business and the refrigerated business, you know, making sure that shelves are stocked and food is replenished throughout the country. And that puts a lot of pressure on you because you've got some family time that you want to spend as well, but there's a lot of demand out there. So, you know, we're going to offer a big prize drawing this year for everybody who works during the time period of December the 23rd through, I believe, January the 2nd. Every day that you work, you'll get entered to win, you know, potentially, we have 3 pickup trucks. We have some big cash prizes and 30 prizes in all. So lots of different opportunities to win. Certainly, you know, hopefully you can run a few loads and also, you know, get home and see your family and spend time. That's really important, I know, during that time period as well. But we know there will be a lot of demand to, like I said, replenish those inventories. You know, the other thing we talk about quite a bit is the importance of planning your business and the financial part of your business through through the first of the year, and we don't really know what the first quarter will bring. It could be a little bit softer as far as freight demand goes. So, the old saying, make hay while the sun shines. Every load you can get and every day you can make yourself available during that time period where there's stronger demand is going to help you going forward in the first quarter. So, I want to bring up, we do have some other special guests here, very special guests from General Mills. From about the last at least 15 years, maybe 20 years, General Mills has consistently been in our top 5, sometimes number 1, number 2. I would like to get them right back up to number 1 as soon as possible, but I think last week they were number 3. So we do a lot of business. We've got a long-standing relationship, and they're here this morning to present us with an award. So we're going to bring them up and let them introduce themselves and have a few comments here.
Sounds good. Morning, everybody. Thanks for having us down here. My name is Phil West. I lead North American transportation for General Mills. We were saying, we got in yesterday, and we were saying last night, I think it's been probably 2 or 3 years since we were at our last driver meeting where we were giving you guys the same award. And over that last couple of years, it's been a wild ride for a variety of reasons, personally and professionally, as kind of the world's been kind of flipped upside down. But for our business has been growing at a really, really high clip the last couple of years. And that's been great, but it's been a really, really challenging with all of the supply chain disruptions. And if you think about all of the inputs to our products, trying to get materials and ingredients has been exceptionally challenging. And so the purpose at General Mills, we say, is to make food the world loves, but it's been really hard to just make the food the last couple of years. But even if we were to make it, we still have to deliver it. And I would tell you, inside the 4 walls of General Mills is we have, whenever we have a prime driver or a truck on a load, it gives us a tremendous amount of confidence and a lot of calm across our team because we know that you guys are going to deliver on behalf of our business. It's one of the reasons why you're one of our largest carriers. But every year we step back and we evaluate all of our carriers across our network, and we evaluate them on a whole host of quantitative and qualitative data. And we've got a variety of categories that we measure carriers on. And every single year, Prime rises to the top, not just in reefer, but across our entire carrier base. Prime always rises up to the top. And this year is no different. And Prime is going to be recognized again as our 2022 Carrier of the Year. And so, and what's probably most tremendous, we were talking about this last night as well, what's probably most amazing is that over the last 15 years, that's about as far back as we could find the awards. Over the last 15 years, there's actually only been 1 year that Prime hasn't won this award from General Mills. And it just speaks to the consistency and the performance that you all have day in and day out to support our business. So I'll stop there. I just want to say thank you for all the hard work, energy, and effort that it takes to deliver for our business. And I'll hand it off to Rachel to close it out with a few thoughts.
Morning, everyone. My name is Rachel Durr, and I lead our National Transportation Operations team for General Mills. And I am super excited to be here to say thank you in person with this fancy trophy that's making its way around the room for everything that you do for General Mills. So Phil mentioned there were a few criteria to be named a General Mills Carrier of the Year. One of those is service, and Prime has done an outstanding job with service over the past year. You had the highest carrier-controlled on-time delivery score for all of our carriers, and not just temp carriers, all of our General Mills carriers, including dry. So that was no small feat. With everything that's been thrown at us with the pandemic, we know our network and our sites don't always make it easier for you. We know there are unloading, loading delays, yard congestion, last minute order changes, but despite all of that, this team delivered. So we are grateful for all of you who played a part in that. Drivers, planners, dispatchers, folks at the terminal, even Dave with his Doughboy shirt over there. We are grateful for you. For carrier engagement, you tackled all of those challenges head on, and you came to us and said, here's the challenge and here are the solutions. And here's what we need from you, General Mills. Here's what we need for our drivers. And together we were able to work through it, service our customers better than our competition. So we're just here to say a big thank you. We value the partnership that we have with your organization. We appreciate each and every one of you. We see the difference that you make for our business. So this award is well deserved, and congratulations to the whole team.
Well, Rachel and Phil and your team, I want to just thank you for your partnership. It's such a great testament to these drivers out here to hear that performance results measured by you. I think our drivers take a lot of pride in that, and we really appreciate all your business. We want to continue to grow it. And, we appreciate you coming in and spending time with us here. It means a lot to us and to our drivers. So
Thank you.
okay.
Yeah, you gotta hold it. You guys gotta hold it. No point you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. This award over here is for you, and you all earned it. So take a look at that, before you leave this morning. We really appreciate it. So Robert's up here, going to close us out. Appreciate all you do. Everybody be safe. Thank you.
Yeah. I tell you, we have a lot of customers, as you all know, but there is no better group, no better company than General Mills. They are very kind, very considerate of our drivers, very respectful of our drivers. They truly appreciate it, as you can tell. They're speaking from the heart. They appreciate, the sacrifices that you all make, to deliver their products on time and in good condition. So we really appreciate customers like them. Like I say, we have a lot of good customers. We love them all, but no company more than General Mills. So thank you all for coming down and join us and presenting the award. I know these drivers appreciate it, and they are the ones that earned it. So thank you all for making it possible. Junior, how you doing, man? Okay. We're getting close to the holidays. Where are those Dodge Rams parked? Anybody know? I kind of look. They're where? At the dealership. I want to get out of here where I can touch it. I'd like to win one of those things. That sounds pretty cool. I understand those things will really go, right? I know we drive slow, but once in a while you have to mash it just a little bit, But anyway, looking forward to that. It's going to be exciting. Appreciate what you all do. You're doing a heck of a job, keeping us going here through the holidays and, keeping our capacity up so we can satisfy our customers' needs. And I know that this time of year is most compelling. It's important. We want to get you home, but we'd like to get you home under a load, spend a few days, get back out and deliver on time. So I'm thanking you in advance for what you do, and appreciate each of you. God bless you and be safe.